Good morning, students. So we are discussing about the satellite networks, and we have discussed the uh, basic concepts or basic terminologies that are present in that. So we have discussed about what is a footprint, and we have discussed what are the orbits and other things. So let us go ahead and let's study about the different categories of satellites. And from the study point of view, we'll be studying about their characteristics and their basic features or the applications. You can say the pattern is going to remain same, and according to that, we will be studying it. So these are the three categories of satellites. That is, we have the geostationary orbit and middle Earth orbit and lower Earth orbit. So let us study these one by one. So when we talk about these different types of satellites, they will be placed on particular surface on a particular altitude, we can say, from the comparison of the Earth surface. From altitude is nothing but we can say the height of an object from a particular point. So that is nothing but an altitude. So these different types of satellites are placed at different locations or at the different heights compared to the Earth surface. So we'll study these one by one now. So coming to the first one, that is the uh, geostationary Earth orbits, and these are the satellite frequency bands that we can have. So downlink and uplink, for that we have different bandwidths, and according to that we can see different bands that can be used. So when we talk about the first one, that is the geostationary Earth orbit. Okay, so the main thing that we need to understand is it is basically in the equatorial nature. Okay, so uh, when we talk about this equatorial nature, it rotates around the Earth in the equatorial fashion. And when we uh, want to place any or suppose say that if there are some uh, satellites that have been already placed, but these satellites cannot produce the constant support, or they cannot produce the constant signals. So for that reason we require minimum 3 satellites, because when our satellites rotates around the Earth, because of there will be a curvature of the Earth. For example, if you see here, this is how the satellites will be placed in the, these are the geostationary orbit. So when we say that if we use only one particular satellite, okay, and the signal or the footprint will be only at one particular location, as the Earth rotates or it has got its curvature. So because of this curvature nature, the people or the systems that are present at this particular site cannot communicate, or the signals cannot be reached at this particular site. So minimum we require 3 satellites to be placed in the this particular orbit, and that is the geostationary satellites. So the line of sight propagation requires that the sending and receiving antennas should be locked onto each other's location at all the times. So if you do not use these 3 satellites, then as I said, the other part of the stations or the other part of the nodes or the devices cannot get the signals properly. So for because of this reason, a satellites that moves faster or slower than the Earth's rotation is useful for the short period. So if we have the satellites which moves faster or slower than the Earth's rotation, it is not useful because it cannot give the constant signals. So to ensure the constant communication or to have a reliable communication, the satellites must be move at the same speed as that of the Earth. So these geostationary satellites that we have placed are having the same capacity or having the same speed as that of the Earth, so that it remains fixed above a certain spot and we can have a proper communication. So such kinds of satellites are called as the geostationary. Why they are called geostationary? Basically to have the constant communication, and their speed is equal or almost similar to that of the Earth speed. So we can have the constant signal, or we can have a reliable communication. So these are placed on a certain spot, and so that we can have the constant communication, and such satellites are called as the geostationary satellites. And when we say that if you consider this as a circle of the earth, and these are the satellites that are placed, and their distance is of say 35,786 kilometer above the earth. So in that particular region they have been placed. So if you consider this as the earth surface, they have given a graph of earth surface versus the different satellites that we can place. So they are placed at the height or the distance of 35,786 kilometers. At this height these satellites can be placed, and minimum it requires 3 satellites. Why it requires 3 satellites? So that it can cover all the area of the earth, or so that a person sitting anywhere, or like he can be present here, or he can be present here, or anywhere, he can get the signals in a proper way. So we can see that all these satellites are placed at a equidistance. So if you consider 360 degrees, all will be placed at 120 degrees. So the distance between, like you could consider it like a triangle. So each angle will be having a 180 degree and so on. Or if you take this as this, so 120 degrees, 120 degrees, and 120 degrees. At this particular angle, the satellites have been placed. And as we say that they move with the speed of the earth, what can be their time period? So orbital time period is about 24 hours, because the speed of that is similar to that of the earth, so it requires a time period of 24 hours. And they are used for the radio broadcasting. Basically their application, or we can use them at the uh, radio broadcasting. For that purpose they can be used. And also we need to remember that, like, the main important thing that you need to highlight is why we require 3 satellites. Because of the curvature nature of the earth, uh, the things or the planets, elements or the stations cannot get all the signals in a proper way. So to have that, it requires minimum 3 satellites. So this is what you need to write about the geostationary earth orbit. Are we getting it? So these are like some of the characteristics of geo satellites. Only these things you need to highlight, not more than that. Maybe it can be asked like a question on uh, explain the types of the satellites. From last 2 years it has been not asked, but we cannot take the risk. So you need to write about their characteristics. The characteristics that we are discussing now, same thing will be applicable. I mean, similar kind of the patterns is going to remain same for the next 2 types of categories as well. Shall we go ahead with this?
Yes, sir.
Others, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So the next one that we have is the middle earth orbit, that is MEO. So these satellites are placed between two Van Allen belt. So this is the scientist names Van Allen who discovered, and based on that it has been named as Van Allen belt. So where they are placed basically. So these satellites, or this satellite's orbit is an altitude of 5,000 to 15,000 kilometer from the earth surface. So if you go back to the same diagram, here you can see that these two are called as the lower Van Allen belt, upper Van Allen belt. So in between this, so that is the lower range is 5,000 and the upper range is 15,000. So they are placed in between this range. So approximately it can take that 8,000, 9,000. At this height, these satellites are placed, and this we call it as the Van Allen belt. So this is the, I mean, we are not going to in detail about what that uh, the scientists discovered some particular range that is all related to radio uh, frequencies and so on. So based on that, they have named it as Van Allen belt. So these satellites are placed between two Van Allen belt at the height of say between the 5,000 to 15,000 kilometers from the earth surface. So approximately you can take that they can lie in any range, that is 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, and so on. In this range these satellites can be placed. and they can take a time period, or the orbital time period for these types of satellites is of 6 hours. So that is the time required, or minimum 6 hours is required, or you can say 6 to 8 hours time period is required for the time. That is the period required for the satellites is of 6 hours. The most important example or the application of this middle earth orbit is the GPS, that is global positioning system. That is the application of this middle earth orbit. So what this basically does, or how this GPS works, or our example, our Google Maps and so on, they work on the concept of the GPS. Okay, so the satellites based on this middle earth orbit, they will provide us the communication, or whatever Google Maps we use, they are based on this concept. And this GPS uses 24 satellites and is used for land, sea, and air navigation to provide time and location for vehicles and ships. Okay, so whenever we are moving or when we are traveling, not only for vehicles and ships, also for the land and navigation to provide time and location. Time and location can be calculated by using this GPS system. So what this GPS system will do, or how this GPS system works, it works based on the concept called as the triliteration. Okay, the term that we call it as the triliteration. So what basically does, or how we will actually get to know what is our distance, or loss of, for example, if you say that if you type something from my place to somewhere Bangalore, it will show that approximately 500 kilometers. So how it will calculate the distance, or how it will show the route map? It is based on the principle called as the triliteration. So what this triliteration tells is, suppose say that we are at a certain location. This pink color is considered as our location. So if you are placed at certain location and we know our distances from 3 points, okay, let us say that we are present at this particular location, and we if we know our distance from 3 points on the earth, or on the earth surface we can say, and if you can able to draw a circle, suppose say that I am having, or I am at this location, and it is of 15 kilometers from point A, 10 kilometers point from, or 20 kilometers from point C, and 5 kilometers from point B. If I know my distances from any 3 points, then what we can do is we can draw a circle from these 3 points, and I can get my location, or if I want to know the current location, this is what we need to do. So we can draw these circles, and the place where I'm standing or I'm sitting will be somewhere on the circumference of A, and somewhere on the circumference of B, or somewhere on the circumference of C. All A, B, C circumferences can contact, or they will collide at a particular point, and that is my actual place. So this is how the GPS system works, and for this reason it basically uses 24 satellites and used for the land, sea, and air navigation. So we can see that the example for that, so these are the orbits for the global positioning system. So you can see that it uses 24 satellites, and what can be its nature? It is inclined in nature. So the orbit, its nature, or uh, the satellites move, or they travel, or they rotate in the inclined fashion. So if you compare this uh, geo and MEO, the characteristics remains going to same. So there you are informed that it will be placed 37 kilometers above the earth's surface, and here they will be placed in between two Van Allen belts, between that is 5,000 to 15,000. Geo was what? It was equatorial in nature, and this is inclined in nature, and the orbit speed there was 24 hours. Why? Because the speed of those satellites is similar or almost equal to that of the earth's surface, or the earth speed, and here it is 6 hours. And there we have discussed about they can be used for the uh, radio broadcasting, and there it required minimum 3 satellites, and here it requires 24 satellites for the global positioning system. Again, and also we need to remember about the concept of triliteration. So our definition can be asked, what is the meaning of a triliteration? In the notes I will provide you, but you should remember that triliteration means what? Everyone got this? What is the meaning of triliteration, or what is the triliteration principle? Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of this triliteration? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Can somebody tell me? Madhura
Sir.
Joshi, can you tell me? So if I want to know my current location, okay, like I said that these satellites are used for, or they provide the GPS system like our Google Maps. So how they will get to know what is my current location and so on. So to track any location or to track my location, suppose consider that if I am standing here, or if this is my current location, and if I want to know my current location, and if I know my distance from 3 points. Suppose say that I'm sitting here, but I don't know where I'm exactly standing, whether I'm in Belgaum or whether I'm in Bangalore, I don't know. So if I want to know my current location, or if whenever I want to reach a particular destination, so it will be calculated based on this concept. What this principle says is, if I know my current location, I mean, uh, if I want to know my current location, and if I know my location, uh, and the distances from three different points, like from B, from C and A, minimum from 3 points if I know, then I can draw a circle with the proper scale, we can say, or we can say with proper measurements. If I can able to draw three circles, and my position will be uh, collided with the circumferences of three circles somewhere. So I may be standing somewhere at A, I may be standing at somewhere at B, or I may be standing at somewhere at C. Its circumferences will collide, and this collision point of three circumference will be my actual location. So this is what is the concept of alliteration that we have. Are we clear with this?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what is orbital time period?
How, yesterday we have discussed what is the period. How much time it will take to rotate. Okay,
Yes, sir.
can somebody tell me what is the period? How much time it will take to rotate? I have given the next as a fill in the blanks. How much time it will take to rotate around the earth, or about its orbit, or what?
Around the Earth. Complete trip around the Earth.
Okay, so that we call it as the period. We have discussed this. So it is the time required for a satellite to make a complete trip around the earth, that we call it as the period. So that is what we are discussing. Because they are placed at different distances, their time periods are different. That is the basic thing you need to understand. Because geo satellites are based, or they are positioned at this distance from the earth, and the MEO satellites are placed at in this range they are placed. So the distance is less compared to that of geo, so they will take less time. It is obvious. Yes, anybody has any other doubts? So again, there are many discussion of two-dimensional triliteration. There can be three-dimensional triliteration and so on, but we are restricting ourselves to only this concept. Next, we'll be discussing about the low Earth orbit, that is the LEO. So they are they have the polar orbits, or their behavior is in polar in nature. So the altitude is between, or the satellite's distance from the Earth's surface is between 500 to 2000 kilometers from the Earth's surface. So in that particular range, these satellites can be placed, and their orbital time period uh, generally ranges between 90 to 120 minutes. So that is the time period for these kinds of satellites. So we can say that they are very, very fast compared to the of the earlier ones. And a LEO system has a cellular type of access. Okay, like a cellular telephone that we have discussed, it is similar to that. So LEO system has the cellular type of access, and the people are the, like, for our cell phones and mobile communications, these are basically used. And we can say that they are made up of combination of satellites. It is not just made up of one particular satellites. These satellites work in connection, or we can say that consultation. That is, the group or made up of some 2 to 3 pairs of satellites can be grouped together, and they provide the communication services. And satellites that work together as a network, and each satellite acts as a switch. So in case of LEO, each satellite will work like a switch, and they are applicable in the mobile communication. Then we need to understand these three terms, that is ISL, UML, and GWL. What is this ISL? Let's discuss this. So let me take this arrangement. So the satellites that are placed in this LEO satellites work in connection with other satellites, or they work in combination, or we can say that group of satellites to they provide in groups, or they work in groups, we can say. So uh, the satellites can also communicate among themselves, so that we call it as the ISL. So the communication between satellites is done using the inter-satellite links, we can say. The communication between the satellites can be done by using the inter-satellite links, that we call it as the ISL. And communication between the satellite and the uh, mobile station or user mobile can be also done, and that we call it as the UML, user mobile link. So between the satellite with, I mean, from satellites to mobile stations, we can call it as the UML. And also we have something called as the GWL. So this is from uh, so these are called as the footprint or line of sight that we can have. So like you can see, it can be any other device or a node, or we can say the uh, like we place at certain locations, we place some devices like antennas. So with that also it can communicate. Or like for example, if your for your television system, in the earlier days we have seen that there was like a big umbrella like of that kind of thing that we had. So in such cases, the satellites can also communicate with that, and that we call as the uh, gateway link. Okay, so satellites can communicate among themselves, that we call as the ISL, that is inter-satellite link. So this inter-satellite link is used for communication between two satellites, and from satellite to the mobile phones or user mobiles can be done by using the user mobile link. And between these devices, earth station, we can say. So this basically we can say it as the earth station. From the satellites to the earth station can be also done by using this concept called as GWL, that is the gateway link. So this is what in the yesterday's class we were discussing about footprint. So this is what we call as the footprint. So the main signals or the communication signals will reach at this particular region, and this will be having the footprint or the line of sight. But as you are as if you are near to this particular device or at this particular location, you can get a good signal strength. But as you move ahead with that, your signal power or the strength will be reduced. And So these are the basic characteristics of the low Earth orbit. So their example for this is Iridium constellation. So you can say that constellation means it is a like a group of stars we say. So similarly, it is group of satellites. So there are different combinations that we can have. So Iridium system has 66 satellites in 6 LEO orbits, each at an altitude of 750 kilometers. Similarly to that, we have something teledesic. So these are the different categories or types of the or the examples for we can say for the LEO satellites. And this Iridium constellation has or the advantages of this is direct worldwide voice and data communication using handheld terminals, a service similar to the cellular telephony but on a global scale. So this is also similar to the cellular telephony, but they are used for the worldwide voice and data communication. So because of this, we basically use LEO satellites. Why? Because they are very near to the earth surface and they provide this global wide area communication or voice and data communication they provide. So most of the time, whatever the signals or satellite signals that we are currently using in our day-to-day life are these satellites. They are placed on this uh, low earth orbit. At this low earth orbit they have been placed. And there are categories of LEO satellites that we call it as the little LEO, big LEO, and broadband LEO. So characteristics we can remember for this: LEO satellites operate under 1 gigahertz speeds. So the range of this for the LEO is 1 gigahertz speeds, and big LEOs operate between 3 gigahertz speed, 1 to 3, and broadband LEO. So they provide communication similar to the fiber optics. So broadband LEO are similar to that of the fiber optic networks. So this is all that we have with related to the discussion of the categories of satellites. Are we clear with this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Can somebody tell me what is ISL, what is UML, what is GWL, or why they are used? Madhura Joshi, I took your name. Can you answer this? Anushka, can you explain? Afia, can you explain this? Apurva Patil. Isha, can you explain this? Pragya. Pragya, can you explain this? No
No, sir.
response. Saubhagya, explain this. What is UML and what is ISL? So that means here two satellites can also communicate by using this. So that communication we call as the intersync, inter-class tournament we say, similar to that, inter-satellite link we say. So using that they can communicate. And here we have UML, that is from the satellite to a mobile station. Okay, so that we can call it as user mobile link. By using this user mobile link, a user can communicate with the satellite. Like for example, when you're searching any information from the internet and so on, you can get these links. Give your attendance everyone. And then we have this GWL, that is the gateway link. So a satellite can also communicate with the earth station, that we call as the gateway link. I hope this is clear now.
Yes, sir.
So the next thing that we are going to discuss it about the virtual circuit networks. Okay, so basically you have discussed three types of, or you have studied the switching techniques. What are the three types of switching techniques that you have studied? You have studied this virtual circuit networks, right? What are the three types of switching that you have studied?
Message switching, circuit switching, and
Packet switching. So we are going to discuss about packet switching techniques. So that packet switching, that is when the packets are traveling, or when the packets are in transmission, they can use two types of approaches. That is, they can approach, or they can use the virtual circuit, or they can use the datagram. Why we are discussing basically this is because we are going to study a concept called as frame relay. So that is basically a virtual circuit wide based network protocol, or that concept. So for that we are discussing about the virtual circuit. In second unit again we are going to study in detail about this virtual circuit, because it all depends on the network layer. When we talk about the network layer, it is all about transmission of packets. So but in a simple terms, we'll be discussing about, or we'll be discussing only the differences between virtual circuit and datagram. So virtual circuit is a connection oriented, whereas datagram is connectionless. Here, as we said, is connection oriented, connection has setup is required. Here connection setup is not required. As we do the connection setup, termination also has to be done. Here termination is not required. Packets follow the same path. Here packets follow the different path. It is more reliable, it is less reliable. So these are the basic differences that we have with related to the virtual circuit and the datagram. So if we discuss this, here we have this virtual circuit. So when the packets are traveling, they can follow, or they can use two approaches, that is the virtual or the datagram. In detail we'll be discussing in the next class. Are we clear with this? So in the next class